Come on, somebody open your mouth and say something to your king. Come on. Come on, stand on your feet. Come on, now clap your hands. Come on. Open your hands with it and lift your voice. Sing unto God with loud songs of joy. The key to your victory is in your mouth. So let the people shout. I will praise your name. I will praise your name. I will praise your name forever he reigns. I will praise your name. I will praise your name. I will praise your name forever he reigns. Your victory is here. Clap your hands, come on. Here we go. Sing unto God with loud songs of joy. The key to your victory is in your mouth. So let the people shout. Come on, say, I will praise.
I will praise your name. I will praise your name. I will praise your name.
Forever he reigns. Come on, let's say, I will praise.
I will praise your name.
Come on, say, I will praise your name. Come on, say it again. I will
praise your name. Victory is
written on the most high God. Take up your praise. Gotta put every enemy under your feet. So let the people shout. I will praise.
I will praise your name.
Come on, everybody go praise. Come on.
Praise your
Come on, say I will
praise your
forever he reigns.
He reigns.
Let's say it again. I will praise.
I will praise your
I will praise your name. We're talking to the real praise. I will praise forever he reigns.
He reigns.
I will praise your. Anybody came to praise him? Come on. No matter what the devil throws you, come on. Forever he reigns. I got this second. Come on, this second.
I will praise.
Come on, this second.
I will praise your
I feel glory in here. Come on.
I will praise your name.
Forever he reigns.
He reigns. I will praise your
Why are you trying to praise him? Come on.
I will praise your I will praise your name.
Forever he reigns.
He reigns.
Here we go, victory shout.
Victory is here.
Come on, get out those hands and celebrate. Somebody shout in this room. Come on, say, shout to the Lord. Just shout to the Lord. Come on, shout to the Lord.
Shout to the Lord.
Come on,
put on your garment of praise.
let's go to church.
Shout to the Lord. Shout to the Lord.
Come on, clap those hands out there.
Shout to the Lord.
Come on, somebody shout to
the Lord.
Come on,
Come on, put on your garment of praise.
come on, shout to.
Shout to the Lord.
Where my praises at? Come on and shout.
Shout to the Lord.
Come on and shout.
Shout to the Lord.
Come on.
Come on, put on your garment of praise.
Come on and say, shout to.
Shout to the Lord.
Come on, everybody and shout.
Shout to the Lord.
Come on, say shout.
Shout to the
Come
Lord.
on, come on.
Come on, put on your garment of praise. Shout to the Lord.
Get up.
Get up and shout for the victory.
Come on and shout.
Shout for the victory is ours.
Greetings, salutations, everybody. I'm your host, D. Hearn, back on another Monday, another great day to be alive. If you're wondering who that was, that's my brother's group. They're called Priesthood. We recorded that a while ago. I just like that song, the way we just did that thing musically. That was mostly all tough, and my cousin Jason and little man Daryl Howard was on the drums, and David Geraldo was on the guitar. Man, that was a very, very, very fun session. And my guy, Quentin Furby Gulledge, was on colors on that one. And I just wanted to play a little bit of that. Well, I played a lot of it, but yeah, that was a great album. But anyway, you're probably wondering, why are we in such a dark situation? I want to do this a little differently because something has been on my mind for the last couple of weeks. And I figured I might as well do this now with everything that's going on. I figured I might as well drop this bomb on you so you don't have to hear it from anywhere else. You're hearing it from me. So you won't have to worry about the rumors and everything else. So you might want to share this with people because I'm about to drop a bomb on you in a minute. But ever since I was a kid, I noticed I was a little different. I was different from most. You know, the things that most people like to do, I didn't. I was called weird and everything else. And growing up, I was always called weird, and I couldn't figure out why would people call me weird. I knew it was something different, but I didn't know that it would have a dramatic impact on my life as it has, especially lately, you know, with everything that's going on. And so I figured I might as well let you know now so you can end the rumor. Okay, there's been rumors about me, and I want to confirm some things, okay? So hopefully you guys won't, judge me, won't jump off of this live and start the whole thing and thinking I'm going to get sat down from the church and everything else. I would hope that I wouldn't, but if I do, then I'm willing to accept the consequences because I just need to drop this on you. It's been put on me, and, I got to be me. I got to let y'all know that this is something that I need to do, okay? So anyway, over the last couple of weeks, I wrestled with it, and I said today would be the day that I drop it on everyone, so I'm still nervous, kind of shaking, but I will let you know right now, just put it out there, D, just put it out there. I will no longer be identified as a man. I know that's a lot. I don't want to be identified as a man anymore. I'm coming out. So I hope you guys don't worry. I'm still the same person, but I'm no longer going to be called a man. From now on, you will refer to me as Voltron, Defender of the Universe. I've always felt like I was different. I had superpowers. I thought I had superpowers, and everybody else called me crazy. So now I have the green lion, the red lion, the blue lion, the yellow lion, the black lion, and now I'm called Voltron. That's what I want to be identified as for the next live. So from now on, you will call me Voltron. Voltron, the Defender of the Universe. I will be identified as that. Was that big enough for you? Was that a bombshell? I feel so liberated to get that off my heart. Man, y'all just don't know how good I feel. So I got that off my heart. Now, y'all probably, in all seriousness, I did this to be funny, but let's get serious for a second because there has been a lot of this going on. People want to be identified as whatever you want to be identified. But even that I don't have a problem with. I know I'm messing around, but check this out. I saw something and I posted it, and it caused a little wouldn't say controversy, it wasn't big enough to be a controversy, but it was a little dialogue. Some people got offended by it. They didn't understand what I was going. So when I posted this picture, I know they were clutching their pearls. Hey, that setup was perfect though, bro. You got to admit the setup was perfect. I had the whole ambiance and everything, but I got the Voltron in the back. So I'm not D tonight. I'm Voltron. I'm identified as Voltron. But we have a lot of people that want to identify as something else. So I posted this picture, and in this picture, I said, okay, equality. Some people forgot that who I am. They know I make quips. I'm like a Mark Twain. Mark Twain, if you read any Mark Twain, Tom Sawyer, whatever, Huckleberry Finn, you knew the way he wrote, it was always to tell a different picture. Even though he can tell one story, a totally different meaning was done. I do that too. I didn't jack Mark Twain, even though my think my research paper was on him in high school. But anyway, my term paper, I think that's what we called it. But check this out. So when I saw this picture, I said, oh, this is where we're headed. This is where we're heading. We have a man who identifies as a woman wrestling a woman, born a woman, and looks like he's dominating her. Pause, but not really. Now, before you guys get going, understand that this person right here, when the big march happened in Chicago, when they was marching for anti-discrimination and anti-abuse of gay and lesbians, the LGBTQ, I was there marching with you. So I am one that believe you should have equal rights. I believe you should have equal voting rights. You should be able to get the same jobs if you're qualified. I believe you should not be discriminated against if you're trying to get housing based off your sexual orientation. I believe that just as strongly as I believe the person that looks like me should not be discriminated against. So me marching with you was me saying, I believe you should have rights. But on that end, I'm not left, I'm not right. I'm independent. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican, for those of you who are wondering. But there has to be some line drawn, in my opinion. So when you see a woman getting handled by a man, guess what? This is where we're headed. Now, this is not about superiority, as somebody claimed in my status. This is not about superiority. But as it relates to sports, there is a difference between the men and women. That's why they have men basketball and women basketball. If they was to say, hey, it is what it is, put them all together, guess what? All basketball would more likely be men. Because in sports, we do fare better. Now, that doesn't mean, now I know some people getting upset, well, you can identify whatever you want to. That's true. And I posted that other video where the doctor said, yeah, but 100 years from now, when they dig up your bones, they're not going to know what you identified as. They're going to say you're a woman. And it's starting to get confusing to me. Somebody who marched with you, it's confusing to me. I lost count. Because you got people that want to identify as a woman when they're born a man. Okay, get that. Transgenders been around for a while. They used to call them drag queens. Now they just transgender, whatever. Now you got men identify as women identify as men, women who saying, I'm not either, I'm just whatever I want to be. I mean, it's just confusing to me now. Can somebody please help me? So when I posted this, even though still, you can identify whatever you want to identify. I identified as Voltron right now. I'm Voltron tonight. So, but the day I start to impose what I am and make you accept what I am, that's when it's the problem. I can identify as Voltron as much as I want to, but the second I walk in somewhere and I get mad at you for not identifying me for something that you don't see, I can't really get mad at you. And I think we're spiraling out of control with the way that we're doing this. We need to just take a step back and say, okay, how far down this rabbit hole do we really want to go? Because next you're going to have people who identify as guinea pigs. And then next people identify as gerbils. And next people identify as one-legged, one-horned rabbits. I mean, when does it end? That's all I'm saying. So at some point, now I'm left in some regards. I'm right in some regards. I'm center in some regards as far as my political views. In this instance, as it relates to sports, I'm with the right wingers. I'm saying at some point, when is it going to be enough? Because honestly, a man 157 pounds, right? Same skill level with a woman 157 pounds. If they get into the ring, who's going to win? You already know who's going to win. So what's going to happen? Somebody needs to die or severely be injured before y'all get it? We're not the same as it relates to that. So you want to say this is equality. It's not equality if a man beating up on a woman. And you got to watch that. I'm serious. I'm not a prophet, but I'm very good at prognosticating. So I can see this thing getting off the rails. It's always been this way. It was headed to be this way. And I'm not going to pinpoint one particular politician that put into play. This was bound to happen because you give an inch, you take a mile. And like I said, the LGBTQ XYZ over the square root of 4, they are powerful politically. They have a lot of lobby groups. So for years, nobody really wanted to go against them because they understood the power that they had as far as their political influence. Now, because of Trump just was like, man, forget it. I'm going to do whatever I want to do, and y'all going to take it. Now, in that regard, I kind of think Trump was like a thug for that joint. He was like, I don't care. You're going to deal with it. That's what you're going to do. And so now everybody's putting these things into play. I don't want them to go too far. I don't want them to be discriminated against, but I do not want men wrestling women. If you were born a man, you need to participate your skirt wearing tail with other men. Period. And that's all we're going to say about that. Questions, comments, criticisms? None. All right, let's keep the show going. I know why you guys are here. One of the reasons, because the favorite part of the show that y'all want to see is here, and we are going.
Can I get an amen?
All right, preacher's gone wild. We at 24. We actually should be further, but I don't do them once a week or whatever. If I did these every day, we'd probably be at 50 now. But anyway, let's do it. So the first one, those of us who have been on praise teams, we sometimes can't hear. The monitors are off. We can't hear the keyboard player. Maybe he had too much to drink or too less. Maybe he woke up on the wrong side of the bed. So sometimes you can't hear the key we're in, right? So I think C sharp is, I might be a little off. I got relative pitch, not perfect pitch. But I know this person decided to sing this song when it should have been, but she was in the wrong key. Here we go.
Come on. The Lord is high above the heavens, and His glory above the nations. The Lord is high above the heavens, and His glory above the nations. Give God the highest praise, acknowledge Him always. Let all the people say, Halle, Halle, Halle.
Is that C sharp? Yes, that's C sharp. The Lord is high above the heaven. Let's take that down. That's where you should be. Take it all the way down. They were in one key, she was in another key. She should have took that thing way down. I think that song really isn't like an A flat. I know we doing it A flat. Some churches doing it in G. I think you should take it down. She was screaming from the beginning. She should have just took that key way down. And then the thing is, she turned around to the musicians and said, is that C sharp? We would listen. I would, man, Bishop would be like, yo, what? Bishop would tear us up if we did that at the church I play at. He would be like, oh no, we shutting this whole thing down. He would come in our rehearsal and that rehearsal would be dark and dreary. If that happened, that was pretty bad, y'all. But you remember last week I said I was going to find this video because I remember seeing it when somebody wanted to get very, very active in church and they took lyrics and did this.
I know you lying.
On time, every time, always there, said you'll never leave us nor forsake us. So we stand on your word, brought us out of darkness into your light, by your power, we're set free, into what we are gathered. You're there, in the midst, thank you, Lord.
So anxious, Lordy. Man, listen, I knew I was going to find this thing. Now, since I'm talking about Bishop, if I was to go to my bishop and say, hey, we want to do this on Sunday morning, you know what he would say to me? Hell no, to the no. We would not do that song. That would not be done. I'm telling you, that was crazy. But it's like, this is where we're going. You know, everybody want to take R&B songs and bring them to church, but we should be making our own music. We got a good enough music department in a lot of our churches. I mean, I know a lot of musicians and they killing. We don't need to do this, but I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think on that regard. We keeping this thing moving. Now, this was sent to me and it blew my mind. It blew my mind because we're starting to get ridiculous at the altar now. We are really starting to get ridiculous. Check this out.
When this prophetic surge comes, their finances is going to shift. I know y'all looking like, what is about to happen? I know you want to know. Watch this. No, you can't hold it. No, you can't hold it. You can't hold it. You can't. Let go.
It's starting to get out of hand, y'all. What is that? So we playing dominoes in church now? I mean, what is going on here? He knocked one person down and he wanted the domino effect. Now, somebody please tell me, because I'm not that spiritually, I don't know all this stuff like that. I know a little bit, but I don't know that much. Can somebody please tell me, number one, where this is found in the Bible? And number two, how did they benefit from this? One lady was still holding her phone while she was laying down. She was literally holding her phone. And here's the thing. Here's how you can kind of question what's going on. If it was the real power of God, right, that made everybody fall, right, and it wasn't just some mental thing where they feel as if somebody waved their hand or whatever, it's time to fall. Why didn't the child fall down? He was still standing like what's going on? He didn't know what was going on. He was still standing there. He was like, wait, what is this? He didn't know what was going on, to be honest with you. So if it was the real power of God, right, it knocked down almost every woman after a second try. And the child, who looked like maybe he was, 12, 13, he still stayed there. He was looking like what was going on. So somebody tell me in the comment section, was this the move of God or was this flesh? Just type flesh or move. Just type flesh or move. I need to know, type flesh or move. If it was the move of God, type move. If it was the flesh, type flesh. I want to see your comments. I'll wait a second until I see a couple. You said hoes catching anointing. Well, we don't know all that, but it was something. Something was being caught. Somebody said flesh, okay? Ebony says flesh. Eric says flesh. It was the flush. Flesh. Britt says flesh. I believe it was the flesh. And I believe we need to stop doing that. I think when you go to the altar, if you are already trying to fall, now understand hypnosis works like this too. That's why we play. That's part of the hypnosis. I'm not saying God won't move like that. What I'm saying is you need to be careful. You need to have discernment. You need to be able to listen to what's going on. And you need to read your Bible so you will know that when stuff like this going on, if it's actually flesh or if it's actually spirit. Now, I'm from the old school. I believe if this happened and the spirit really came up in there, it's going to bring forth change. It's going to bring forth something else. Something's going to happen in that regard. Because if that's the case, then God's just the spiritual Nino Brown. He's just out here getting you high, and then you back on the road again, doing whatever you was doing, back to the same hell that you deal with every day. I don't think God's that small. I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Speaking of God being wrong, being small, I came across something, and a friend on my Facebook, this is his sister. So let's be respectful of that. I don't want to disrespect anybody on this platform, but we will talk about what was posted. So she posted her testimony about her leaving the Hebrew Israelite movement, whatever she called it. I can't remember what she called it. She called it Hebrew Israelitism. I don't think it was called that, but I'm not going to, that's what she calls it. So I'm not going to go against that. But this is what she said. Y'all ready? Let's go. She said, Jesus delivered me and my 4 children from Hebrew Israelite his Hebrew Israelism. Never heard it. 2 years ago, my husband committed himself to Hebrew Israelism. However, I am a Christian. If you know anything about Hebrew Israelism, you know, I can't keep saying that word. You know how much they despise Christianity. I began to compromise my beliefs in an attempt to keep peace in my marriage, keeping feast days, celebrating new moon, putting fringes in all our clothes, attending his school on the Sabbath instead of my own desired place of worship because I was forbidden to, etc. But it just didn't feel right. I felt in my heart that I was going to do wrong, that I was doing what I was doing was wrong, and I couldn't exactly explain why. So I continued to compromise in those gray areas. Last year, I came across a series of Bible studies on YouTube by Nefertiti, Dwayne Lemon, and Ivor Myers, whatever, that answered every single question I desperately been seeking answers to. And with those answers came great conviction, and I had decided I could not continue to compromise with what I now knew. This made my husband seriously angry. The spiritual warfare that began to take place in our home was crippling, but God kept me and is with me still. Earlier this year, my husband gave me an ultimatum. I was either to renounce Christianity or he filed for divorce. After much prayer and clinging to the Lord, while pregnant with our fourth child, I relocated myself and my children to another state. We lived in my husband's hometown, 6 hours away from my nearest relatives and friends, to lean on family for support during our divorce. I chose Jesus, and I'm so glad I did. Now, this is what she said. Now, I don't have a problem with somebody wanting to leave Hebrew Israelite. I also did. It was something that I delved in my steps. It was weird. I can probably go a whole live about my steps, my evolving to where I am now. But one thing I can honestly say, with a degree of certainty, Hebrew Israelites don't denounce Christianity per se. What do you mean? They believe that Jesus is the Messiah. They believe Messiah, Christos, the anointed one. They believe that he is that. Christianity, the Christian, whatever we call it, Catholicism, because your mother is the Catholic Church, but whether you want to believe it or not, all of it stemmed from them. So the Christianity part, they don't agree with. Why not? Because they believe we should keep the Sabbath, which is Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, right? That is their Sabbath. So, but Christianity said, no, your Sabbath will be Sunday because that's the day Jesus rose. He rose early Sunday with the sun. No, that's not what really happened. If you really read the Bible, say early on the first day. The first day in Jewish is Saturday night. That's the first day. So when you talk about that, Hebrew Israelites, they know this. So what is Sunday? Sunday, the venerable day of the sun. You can research this if you want to. Sun worship is somehow, the word is syncretism. That means when you take two cultures and you merge them into one to make one more appealing to another people that you're hoping to win. So a lot of the holidays dealing with Christianity deals with sun worship, mainly Easter, mainly Christmas. Those are, think about it, Christmas, that's the winter solstice. So this is the darkest day of the year. This when the sun is about to start to rise, hence the birth of the sun. See how this is going? So Hebrew Israelites, they know this. They know all the holidays that Christianity had brought on. And even you guys know because you changed Easter to Resurrection Day. So you know, deep down inside, you know. But you hold true to them. Hebrew Israelites said, no, we ain't doing none of that. Now, I go back and forth with my Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters because I don't think it's possible for us to keep the 613 or something laws that they do. We can't keep those laws. We can't keep those. So that's where we bump heads. So they still say you keep law. Now, I don't eat pork. I don't eat pork. Unless you fool me, I don't eat pork. Now, I like to eat, but, if like I haven't had a pork chop, well over a decade, probably close to 2 now. So when I was Hebrew Israelite, I stopped eating pork. That's one of the things that they do. Now, we know Christ said it's not what goes in the mouth that defiles you, what comes out. And, okay, I'm not going to argue. But I've always gone back and forth with them because I say you getting dangerous because if you believe if man could keep those laws and man could be perfect, then Jesus wouldn't have to come anyway. So you kind of defeating the purpose. But I let them have this is the difference of theology. Oh, it's not a big deal. We have over 40,000 Christian denominations, over 40,000. So you gonna get mad at them for their beliefs, but you're not gonna get mad at the 39,999 other ones? You see what I'm saying? So I don't really knock them for that. I don't. They have a good knowledge. They read and study. They probably know the Bible better than most of us. They really do. But now, here's the problem. When you are married into somebody and this is their belief, you do have decisions to make. You can't, if you believe it's going against your Christian values and everything, then I personally think if it was me, I would have went down point for point. This is what I don't agree with. This is what I don't agree with. And I've never been married, but a lot of problems with marriage is pretty much what we deal with on a regular. What do you mean? You compromise with your friends. You don't get away. You don't get, you don't agree with everything that they do. And sometimes y'all compromise. When you're in a relationship with somebody, you compromise with them. So I think it should be some kind of communication and say, I don't think he should have just given her an ultimatum. But as a man of the house, I guess that's what he felt like he had to do. That was an error. You sit down and y'all talk. And then maybe if you can educate. If she's willing to be taught, then you can educate. This is why we do these, keep the new moons. The new moons is really just like a Sabbath, it's a celebration. They don't do any mourning. They don't do anything negative on that day. It's all positive that day. I don't think that that's a bad thing. That's the new moons. That's not a bad thing. The Sabbath is not bad. It's for you to rest. We work too much in this country. We always working. We running. The Sabbath is for you, not for God. It's for you to rest. There's nothing wrong with the Sabbath. But, we're not Sabbath keepers. We do whatever we want to do because this is America. They're going to make you work. You got to work because, if you don't, we all know what's going to happen. But then you got the other things, the Feast of the Trumpets. You got all of that, Feast of Unleavened Bread or whatever. You got all of that, the Pentecost. Do we even celebrate? Now, that's funny to me. I grew up Pentecostal, and I can count on one hand how many times we celebrated the day of Pentecost. We hardly ever celebrate it, but they do. Hebrew Israelites, they do. They celebrate it. It's a big thing for them. So some regards I understand, but I think as a family, before you break up a home and before you take 4 kids and you move away, I'm not talking specifically about them. I'm saying for me, I would have had this discussion and I would have been willing to compromise with my wife or at least help to try to educate her on this is why we were doing it. This is where I feel like we should go. And now, if I'm the husband, you married me. We are supposed to work this thing out. And I'm not telling you to go and worship the devil. We just got a difference of theology that easily could be worked out if we try. Now, if he's being narcissistic or he's being that person and he's being hard-headed, he don't want to listen, then that could be a problem. But if you have decided that I was never going to leave because you seem like you was out of it anyway, that's going to cause a problem. And that's where the issue is. Sorry. Hebrew Israelite is not bad in itself. They're actually y'all looking at the ones on the street cussing everybody out. Not all of them like that. I know a few. I'm thinking of 2 right now. And they're wonderful human beings. But they are just Hebrew Israelites. And sometimes we discuss and we have our, theological disagreements or agreements. But we talk. That's what you're supposed to do. And when you are with somebody, whether it's a friend, relationship, or marriage, you are supposed to talk these things out before you just decide that I'm going to break up a family. I'm talking about the husband and the wife. I think you should definitely not go there. I think we all need to do our due diligence and research other religions and their beliefs so we can understand fully. Because if you are a Hebrew Israelite and you're watching this and you do not know fully why you are a Hebrew Israelite, you might want to go do some investigation. Flip side, if you are a believer and you've been in church your whole life, I don't care what you think. I'm only interested in what you know. And I'm finding out that we really don't know much. You just felt like you were doing wrong, which is fine, but we need to know and not based off of what somebody else showed you. The Bible speaks and said you have the Holy Spirit so that no man teach you. The Holy Spirit can lead you to the way you should go. If you read it and you really have a desire to want to hear the word and hear them, you will read it and see, okay, there is a little bit of element of truth going both ways. So if they say, hey, we shouldn't be doing sunrise worship services because you are in essence worshiping the sun, and you say, well, I don't see nothing wrong with that. Now you bucking against him, but he's in essence telling the truth. And I agree with you. And I agree. Why do they believe only black folks are Hebrew? I don't understand that either. I actually, and here's the thing, when I was in college in my undergrad, I actually did take Hebrew Jewish history. And what I found is when that dispersed, I think is what it's called, in 70 AD, when they went to war against Rome, and Rome dealt with them thoroughly. Jesus spoke of this when he was talking about that, what happened, the temple would be falling. He was talking about that. We can have a whole live about all this. We're not doing it tonight. But he spoke about that, and they dispersed. They went north, south, east, and west. They went everywhere. So you think about it. If even as dark as I am, if I went up into Europe and I married a European, and then our children married a European, and then our children's children married a European, and then so on and so forth, what do you think my great-great-grandchildren are going to look like? Are they going to look like me, or are they going to look like the Jews that's over there right now? See, that's the interesting part. So that was the part that I couldn't wrestle with. And then on top of that, we can't even trace our history beyond 1600. So far be it for us to take a Bible and say, hey, this is us. Nah, I'm a science major. You know, we don't deal in what we feel. We deal in what we see, the facts, the figures, the numbers. If it's not demonstrative, I'm slow to believe you. I need to see it. And if my lineage can't be traced all the way back to that, I'm not going to subscribe to that, even though it may be true. But it may not be true. Those people in Israel right now may very well be one of the tribes of Israel. It's not just limited to the people. We don't know where they went. Nobody knows. We couldn't tell you who a Levite is right now from a Judah. We couldn't tell you. He switched streams on her mind mid-marriage. And I agree. That's why conversations need to happen. Now, I'm not speaking specifically to this. I'm saying in general, because this is not the only time that it happened. It happens a lot, believe it or not. And a lot of marriages fail because, you know, you got mostly the men that gravitate to this. This is the religion that most black men that I know are gravitating to, this in Islam. They're gravitating to this because they are finding, or they're believing, that Christianity doesn't hold anything from them. And then once they learn about the dark history of Christianity, they're like, oh, no, all of it, no. We could have a whole live about that, but we're not going to do that tonight. Let's just keep this going. So I wanted to touch on that, but we do need to do a little research, understand what they mean. Talk to a Hebrew Israelite, have an understanding about what they believe and why they believe it, before we cast judgments, because I've seen people in church getting in the mic, going at them. Why don't you have a discussion with them? Understand what they're saying. I think we can do better as far as understanding what people are saying, understanding why they believe what they believe, and then we can find common ground and we can build on that as opposed to just casting each other away. That's just more division. And I think we should be against that. I think God would literally lose his mind. He probably is right now. It's like, when he looks and sees all these people, all these denominations, all this division, all this bickering over little bits of scripture, baptized in Jesus' name, no, baptized in the Holy Ghost, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. It's just getting out of hand. We need to do something about it, though, but hey, it is what it is. I just wanted to touch on that. Anyway, let's keep this show going. We almost done. Believe it or not, we're going to get to the dating part. But I did see something my friend posted, and I wanted to talk about that because I've been seeing it. Let's touch on it real fast. He posted, he said, you cannot be shaped like a tree and think you're the coldest chick ever. Now, he took a shot. This was a nasty shot. Y'all tell me what y'all think. This was nasty. But what was funny about it is the comments that followed were even funnier. And one person said something to the degree that, well, as long as she feels good about herself, that's all that matters. Because we're going to get to the dating part. Because I believe that men are visual. Now, unless you try to be single the rest of your life, then of course, no, you shouldn't care. But if you are in the market, it does matter. Why? Because when I make a car and I want to sell it, what I feel about the car is irrelevant. It only matters to people that's buying it. If they don't find value in it, then it's not worth anything. So for you to say, oh, as long as I feel good about myself, that's all that matters. Not if you're trying to date, it ain't. And so when I made that point, she came back and I was like, I don't think people catch where I'm going. We're talking about dating and he's talking about a woman. But speaking about being right and wrong, let's move on. I saw this post, and this would really freak me out. He said, I asked this woman I've been talking to for a minute for $100. I get, what do you need it for? When do you need it back? I mean, when I'm going to get it back or whatever. Whole bunch of questions, laugh out loud. I planned a trip for us in the mountains in Colorado for 4 days. Hotel costs $200 a night, whitewater rafting, $150 per person, zip lining, $125 per person, hot air balloon, $250 per person, SUV rental, $80 a day, not to mention food costs. I had all this covered. Just canceled everything, got my deposits back. I didn't need the $100. I was just seeing what type of response I get if I asked her for it. I didn't ask when do I need to get my money back when I was planning a vacation. Why would you? I was just handling business. People don't think long-term tests failed. Now, y'all tell me, was he wrong in doing this? Tell me real quick, was he wrong in this test? Was he wrong in this test? Which brings me to this point. We need to talk about it. Let's go. We've been putting this off for so long. Let's go ahead and knock this out in 20 minutes. Y'all think we can? Let's do it. He says he wasn't wrong. Okay. I don't like games like that because you set yourself up, but I get why he did it. I get why he did it, but it's all in the dating game. It's all in the dating game. And that's what we're going to talk about right now. The first date. What happens now? We're going to go on. We're not talking about that relationship jump. That's later. Let's talk about the first date, okay? Because he obviously had been dating her a while, but the first date this is why it's so important to have the first date. Because the first date, it establishes. You learn a lot on the first date if you're looking, if you're listening instead of looking to smash. That may be a tough one for our fellas. I understand because sometimes that's what you want to do, right? But I don't know. But I did see something that landed this. Let's get this out the way right away. Leave it to my boy, my namesake. First date. Ladies, would you go out of the country with a man as a first date? Now, I only want the ladies to comment. If you see this later, just comment, say no, yes. But if you were going on a date, would you go out of the country on the first date? You can answer that one real quick. I would say I would not take a woman out of the country on a first date. I would not take a woman out of the country on the first date. That is just dumb. Because why would you do that? It is so much that goes on in the first date that you really, really should not be trying to take anyone nowhere that far on a first date, right? So I got my notes here. See, I come prepared, y'all. Pause. Pause. That's a major pause, too. Okay. Now, personally, I feel, get out of my way. Go. I feel that dating is a lost art myself. I think a lot of people, the hookup culture, which we'll be covering next, the hookup culture in church. Oh, yeah, we go on there next week. But I think the dating part is a lost art because the expectations are different, are so different. They're so wild from one place to the next. And sometimes you just don't know what a real date is, especially it's the first date. So what is your expectation? What constitutes a first date? To me, a first date is just for me to get to know you. Assuming, now I know this person, I'm going to talk to you a lot of times before we even go somewhere because I want to know if I even like you, because talking to you, I'm pretty decent, I guess, maybe. I don't know. But I like to, have conversations. I like to know where you're at. At least I can say this. I can say this honestly. When I talk to you first time, I know going out on first date, we're not going to be enemies. We're going to have a good time. We just may not click as far as a relationship. We may not click there, but we're going to have a good time. We're going to, have a good time because we talked, we've gotten along, we've had good conversations. So we kind of want to meet up and have more conversations and have fun and see what other things that we have in common. But that's me. So do you tell me real quick in the comment section, what constitutes a first date for you? A lot of people would tell you that a first date would be a picnic. Or not a picnic, but a walk in the park. Some people like that. That is romantic, just to get to talk, just to get to know each other, just to look in your face, see what I'm seeing. If what I saw online, especially now, is it lining up with what I'm seeing now? Let me look at you. Let me see if what my eyes is not deceiving me, or let me see more of you. I'm so infatuated with you. I just need to see you. And we can walk and we can talk. And some people say, let's go to the coffee dates. But man, we have it bad because there are some women that don't want coffee dates. They want you to automatically think that, oh, they say you're being lazy. You're not showing any effort if you don't take them to a nice restaurant first date. Oh, you think I'm playing?
Ladies, this is the number one reason why saying yes to a coffee date is actually very dangerous. You see, coffee dates were actually invented by low effort guys who are cheap or worse, broke. So you say yes to a low effort coffee date, and God forbid you fall in love with a guy. He ends up being your low effort husband. And fast forward 10 years, you have kids, and thanks to your choices, your kids have a low effort father.
Y'all see this? Now, a couple of things, couple of takeaways. You see how easy she said broke and everything else, and low effort. Fellas, on this platform, I'm just going to throw it out there. If I call you silverback or whatever man of bees, I'm not pulling no punches because y'all have no problems. Y'all have no problems. These women, when you go on TikTok, you have no problems with these women calling you dusties, calling you whatever they want to call, lame, F-boys, anything, brokies, whatever. I mean, they have no problems. They have no problems. But now a simple coffee date for me to just get to know somebody I don't know, I am called broke, no effort, or whatever. Now, some of us, when you file your taxes, you find out if you really broke or not. You find out if you're really, really that broke. When you file your taxes, you see what you really made that year. You be like, am I really broke out here? But at the very end of the day, just because I got it don't mean I want to spend it on the first day. You don't go around putting $5,000 down payments on cars that you are not going to drive off the lot. That's just stupid. Why am I using women as an analogy with cars? Because that's the way men talk. We don't talk like you. We use analogies a lot when we talk about dating. Because to us, we're taking these risks if we marry you. So why would we want to spend money on somebody we don't know? Fellas, if this is you, then you doing that. How did that work out for you? Did it work out for you? Seriously. But you're really just trying to get to know somebody. You're really trying to get to know somebody. But then it brings the question, how much do you spend on a first date? How much should be spent on first date? Hold on. Make sure this sound is going.
And it does depend on where we going, though.
So are you a drinker?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Appetizer?
Are you an appetizer?
Depend on how hungry I am, but
what place you go to?
I like seafood though, and I feel like seafood is expensive. And
it is. But
are you a deserter?
No, I'm not.
And I hate a deserter to take the dessert home.
Why?
You're going overboard. You're a drinker, you're an appetizer, you're a main course, and you're a deserter. And you're going to try to desert me. Exactly. Then you're going to try to desert me.
I don't know. I just feel like between the both of us, it's going to cost at least $2. Yeah. If we had a nice restaurant, yeah.
No. Applebee's a regular restaurant.
No,
like a regular restaurant could be like
how much is Applebee's?
If you get one drink, right here, you guys. If you get one drink for both of y'all, an appetizer, and
you said if one drink. Not
take this call.
So right now you're looking at the behind the scenes of the Young Jock Morning Show, Streets Morning Takeover, with comedian Shawty and Miss Shanika. They're having a discussion about the initial first date and how much men should pay for the first date. They're reacting to a discussion on social media where a woman said that $200 to $400, that's the minimum. And so one of the women on the staff of the morning show, she got pulled in and they asked her basically what's acceptable for her. And she's saying at least $300. And then she dropped it down to about $200. We'll get into all that in a minute. But before we do, take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the...
We ain't doing all that. But y'all see that, right? That's Pink Book Lessons. If y'all want to go subscribe to her, she's very, very good. Pink Book Lessons. But check it out. You see, $300 to go on a date. $300 to go on a date. I mean, where are we going? Now I can see second, third date. That first dinner date, which brings me to this point. The third date is where, you probably are going somewhere to a dinner somewhere where, we're going to dress up. We're going to look our good. The ladies, you're going to look a certain way. Now that brings me to this point. What do you wear on that first date? Now that's what I want to know. What is, say for instance, we're saying we're going to a restaurant, right? What is acceptable? Now, ladies, tell me what you would like men to wear on that first date. That's what I want to hear. I want to see, ladies, tell me what you would like to see. First date, we're going to a restaurant, a nice restaurant. What would you like to see him in? What is unacceptable? Now, I'll tell you while you're typing. I would like to see a woman dressed not skeezy or slutty or for the streets. Where he at? I know it's somewhere. Come on. Where you at, Future?
She belongs to the streets.
Yeah, we're not doing that look. Okay. I want something that definitely makes me look, but not so much that it makes me think that, oh yeah, it's going to be something going on tonight.
Smash.
We don't want that. Okay. Find a way to find that medium where it's looking nice, it's elegant, but it's not, like a down-home missionary. No, I don't want that either. I want you to look nice. Get your face. Listen, I know some of us don't wear makeup because you think you don't got to, but if you come out that house looking like a hobgoblin and we going somewhere upscale or somewhere halfway decent, I'm going to remember that, because just like you said, a man needs to show effort. You need to show effort, because that shows us that you took me seriously. If you come out the house looking like a wildebeest, then we're going to have a problem. I'm still going to get out the car, open the door for you, and give you, if I brought roses, or give you a hug or whatever, then we're going to go on our way. But I'm going to feel some kind of way, because I'm going to feel like you don't think I'm worth it to get your face made up or get your hair done or something like that. This is the date. This is the most intimate date we're going to have thus far. We did the bowling or whatever we've done. We've gone out walking and everything else. This is the date. This is the third date. And for some people that are not in church, the third date is the date, if you know what I mean. That's the date.
Oh boy. Here we go.
Yeah, it's that date. So I want to know, ladies, what is acceptable for men? What would you like the man picking you up? What would you like for him to wear? I just told you mine. Don't come out here looking like we about to go to church. I don't want church at that time. I want you to look nice. I want your face to look nice. I want you to go to my friend Christina or Kamar and get your makeup done. That's what I want. And if you say, well, I don't want makeup, that's fine. But I don't want you to look like RuPaul, but put something on. Y'all tell me what you think. But see, here's the thing. And I also want to know this. What do you expect from that date, the first date? What do you expect? I just think you're not going in that moment to say, this is my husband. You're not going in. You're going to say, with me, I looked at you. I found you attractive. I've approached you. And now I want to see if what I hear or the vibe that I get matches the intensity of what I saw. Sexually, I've already was attracted to you physically, but now can you pull the rest of me in? That's what the first date, I want to know, do you have that it factor that'll make you get the second and then the third date? Because usually by that third date, you kind of know where you for to be. You kind of know where you for to be. You kind of know. That third date, if you going on 4 and 5, 6 dates, then y'all just either smash buddies or y'all just out here just having fun and just kicking it. But third date, if you did it the way that I do it, third date, you kind of know. Because first, before we go on the first date, we having conversations. It can start off as small as inboxes on Facebook or Instagram, talking. Then it move on to texting. Then the conversation that happened on the phone. Then we video chatting. Yes, this is going to take time, but you don't move. You don't need to move fast. Take your time. Take your time. Then the first date come when we meeting each other somewhere and we walking and we talking. Second date come, you go and do something a little bit more fun. You go do like bowling or pool or whatever y'all like to do. Nothing intimate. No movie second date Unless, of course, it's a comedy where it's a little bit more laid back, but that's still darkness. That's still intimate. We too close to each other, unless you're going to put a seat between, but who does that on dates? No, kind of chill out. The third date is probably where the dinner in the movie is going to happen. You said first date, hoodie and jeans. But I mean, hey, you know what? Honestly, I found a little charm in hoodie and jeans. If you wearing it right, especially if you got the shape for it, of course, you can wear your jeans all day. But that's okay. First date, we just going to talk, whatever. But I just think that sometimes our expectations are too much on these first dates because we got people out here expecting the world. Fellas, don't do it. Unless, of course, you got a whole lot of money to spend or you don't care. But you should take this advice. Take that mug, first conversation, get those conversations out the way because you'll learn a lot. Because ain't nowhere in the world, if I'm talking to you and I'm way too advanced for you, I'm not going to want to sit in front of you because the only thing you're going to be doing is this. Yeah. And I'm not going to be doing that. That phone will get thrown out the window. And then we're going to be talking, and then next thing you know, you're going to be mad, and we're going to be having an argument. And I'm like, dude, I'm trying to talk to you, but everything I say, you can't grasp. And that's going to make for a bad date. Y'all just tell me what you think. I just think we read too much into this first date. We read too much into the first date. But you got to be careful, fellas. You got to be careful because I'm going to be honest, it's this new thing going on where there are some women out here who will only go, they don't like you, they don't pay you no attention in the conversation, they're not really engaged, but they will use you only to get free food. That happens.
Okay. Shit, why the fuck not? Why not? Minus Will.
Yes, I'll have the chicken, white meat only. And for the lady, perhaps a salad?
Perhaps not. I'll have the steak smothered in onions, a rack of ribs, pasta with extra garlic, French fries with lots of vinegar, and a side of onion rings with. Lots and lots of sauerkraut.
La 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 la. Shh. Living my life.
The food was 10 out of 10, but my date was 2 out of 10. Well, at least I got a free meal.
Told you I'ma make it up to you, I know fit too. So you shouldn't ask me what it do. You make me sad, I know feel like you. I thought you was down to roll with a dropper man. Girl, I'm away from home, yeah, man, I dropper man. Live my life all alone, steady blow.
Okay. Shit, why the fuck not? Why not? Minus Will.
Bitches try to pimp a nigga, make him think you love him, take his money, then you dip on niggas. Dip on niggas. Dip on niggas.
Major bag alert, major bag alert, bag.
Oh, I'm going off. I said, foodies Thank you. Foodie calls do happen. Foodie calls do happen, as y'all seen through the video. Foodie calls do happen. And I'm telling the fellas, I said, fellas, be careful, because they will go out on these dates with you. They will go out on these dates with you just for your food, just to get to eat. I've heard a woman and several women say, shoot, that's a free meal. That's not cute. Man, that's not cool. But hey, this is what we do. This is what we're doing now. This is what we're doing now. Because if you go out on a date with a woman, you haven't established anything, and first thing you say is, I want to take you out. She may not even like you. You saw that lady was just eating. She was eating. Can y'all hear me now? She was just eating, and she wasn't even paying the man no attention. First of all, that eye. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. She actually said she only does online for eating, for meals. Now they'll call you broke. Check this out. They'll call you broke men because you don't want to pay for their meal first date. And it was so many I saw. And the crazy thing, they call you broke, but they out trying to get a free meal. Not saying I'm going to go out and pay for my own meal. No, they want you to pay for it. And the thing is, those modern women, that's the part of traditionalism that they like. You know, when a man pays for everything, we do everything. Fellas, slow it down. Slow it down. Don't pay for these meals yet. Wait till you get to know her. Now, if y'all cool and y'all become friends, which you should be, then go for it, whatever. See if you can, if it's a spark there. But if it's no spark there, don't do it. Now, ladies, don't be doing that to people, because you would feel bad if a man said, well, I really don't want to be with her, but I'm going to take her out just so I can smash. Then now there's a problem. See, that's one of the things this platform will deal with. I don't like the double standards, how you're able to say things about men, but if men say something, it's like the world is just exploding now. No, we're not doing that. Let's not do that. Let's not be that kind of people where one thing goes and, okay, yeah, we can have these free foods, but a man can't go out here and say, I'm just going out for sex. You took his most valuable resource. You took the thing that's the most valuable to him before y'all were married. And you're giving him what? I said this on a panel. I was at church and I said, ain't nothing free. You think you getting a free meal, but ain't nothing free. He's going to expect something. And it may not always be sex, which is why the first date is important. You should take that time to get to know the person. I don't care if that is at a cricket farm. Do not take them somewhere where you are willing, where you don't spend more than you're willing to give away. That's what I'm saying. That's just the smart thing. Because what happens is you go on the first date, and if you're expecting more than what you should, you end up in a situation where you don't want to be. I saw this one video, and it freaked me out, because you just can't make this up with what I just saw. I hope y'all ready. We're going to do this, and we're going to jump off of here. We're almost done. But we got to take a look at this. Y'all, grab your popcorn. This is about to be one. It was on Kendra G. Y'all know, if y'all follow her, Kendra G, she does like this dating show where she asks people a question. She asks those people about what they like or what kind of man or woman that they're looking for. And then every now and then a date happens, and then you see something like this.
This how this show got me looking. Fucked up. Girl, I went from the Holy Spirit to holy hell.
Don't say that. Linda, you got an update for us?
I went on a date today.
With a guy you met from the show?
Yes.
Oh, tell us about it.
So I had like a million DMs, right?
She said she had 1 million DMs.
Stop the cap.
She ain't had no 1 million DMs. I'm looking at her. Sweetheart, you didn't have 1 million DMs. I don't believe you. I'm just saying. I just don't believe you had 1 million DMs. Now, we both, you probably saying, well, she's over exaggerating. But some people do that. No, you didn't. And if you did, they only wanted one thing, and we all know what that is. But let's keep going.
So this dude, okay, he was like, I'm in the area. I'm like, where you at? He was like, I'm in Colombia. I'm like, oh shit, that's like a half hour away. He was like, what you doing there? I'm like, shit. He was like, okay, let's meet for lunch. I'm like, sure. We talked for a while. He's a bounty hunter. So he had a whole rack of crazy stories about kicking in the door, waving the 4-4. So I said, I like this guy because he got a shitload of great stories. I can listen to it all day. So I get cute and I drive to the restaurant in Colombia.
How far is that from you?
About a half hour. It wasn't bad. So he's sitting at the bar already because I'm on the phone. He's like, I'm at the bar, whatever. So I get there. He was a little shorter than I expected, but he was cute. He was okay. He was an okay looking guy. Like, we had a FaceTime. He looked good. He was dressed nice. I said, okay. And we sat and we had appetizers. I had a salad and we had wine. We had sparkling water and we had whatever. He said, get whatever you want. And then we were just talking and laughing. He was telling me stories. And it was this great fucking time, Kendra. But you ain't heard shit yet.
Okay, because I'm like, this story sounds great. I hope it doesn't turn.
Girl, it turned burn, and a bitch is concerned. So I fucking get up to go to the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom and whatnot, and I come back and I see him. You walking towards where you're going to, you got your eye on, where you're going, and he put something in his mouth and he balled up a paper and threw it on the floor by the bar seat. So I'm thinking, that's rude. What is that, gum? You know what I mean? So when I got to the seat, I said, what you throwing on the floor? You throwing gum wrappers on the floor? He's like, no, I got to leave that alone. Don't touch it. I was like, what? I said, what was it? But he was so pressed for me not to look at it. I said, oh no, I'm looking at this shit. I said, boy, fuck out of here. So I reached down and I got it. And he was like, man, give me that, trying to take it out my hand. And I'm like, oh, you can't be aggressive with me, motherfucker. Cause nigga, I'm about to look at this shit. And I unwrapped it.
Stop. Yo, ain't she giving y'all Manabee vibes? She's giving me Manabee vibes. I mean, that mouth, man, I don't know. Fellas, y'all tell me, do y'all like women that talk like this? Do y'all like women that's like this? I don't find this attractive at all, personally. This is not something I find attractive. I don't like a really, really foul-mouthed woman that's loud and abrasive and aggressive like this. This is not something that I care for. Now, and y'all can tell me if this is something y'all like, but see, really, honestly, this kind of person, if the vibes that I'm getting from her, first of all, they shouldn't have been going, well, let's just go on.
Unravel this shit. Now, in the comments, tell me, Kendra Queen, tell me, have you ever went to a gas station and all the little packets in the mirror, in the window, Rhino 2000, sex pills, gas station sex pills. So I opened the shit and it said Rhino 2000. Who the fuck you about the Rhino? Your dick will be hard till tomorrow. That, please. Matter of fact, fuck that. Got my little bag and got the fuck out of there. He was like, what you talking about? What you talking about? I use it for energy. We drink Red Bulls for energy. Rhino 2000s and Max 500s in them little packets in the gas. That's what he tried to take on me. Like I was sweet like that. And he was going to get me home and Rhino me. Nigga, fuck you. And he was a bounty hunter. He curried. He had his shit on him. So he curried. He could have, no. I could have got a little tipsy. He could have said, I said, oh, I got to be careful in these streets. He wanted the Rhino. I mean, he could have put it in my water.
He did?
No, I'm saying when I got back, I didn't
Why would he
touch
put
another thing. I got the hell out of there. I said, but he could have put something in my water. But I saw him go like this, and I saw him fold up and drop it. I got another date Thursday, though.
Linda, okay, so we're going to have date updates with Linda. So Thursday. So Friday, you'll come back.
Okay, so I'm going to end that there. Now, let me bring myself back in because I was just really just taken back. Tell me what y'all think about that. That was the first date that went downhill because he took pills. Remember when I said, what are you expecting on the first date? He obviously was thinking, and we don't know. See, the problem is we don't know what kind of conversations that we're having. Men typically don't do that. If he's taking rhino pills that early, why would he take them if it wasn't a sexually charged conversation? There was no sexting. There was nothing that he would think that, oh, we're about to get it on. Why would he do that? Y'all tell me what you think. But me personally, she said she got up and left and everything else. But I can see why you're alone. But nevertheless, and I can see why she got her nice little dog. Where's my little puppy at? Where you little puppy? You little puppy. Yes. But check it out. When you go on dates and you expect too much, you end up in these situations. Let me say this on the way out. We're talking about first date. Steps to a first date. Always get to know the person before you meet them. Don't go on first date to anything that's intimate where it's just you and that person. First of all, that's dangerous. For ladies, it's dangerous. Dangerous for men. Don't go nowhere intimate where it's just you and him. Don't go to his crib. Don't go to her crib. Unless, of course, you know them. Now, sometimes you may know them because maybe y'all, quote unquote, work together or maybe whatever. But I'm thinking, and Ebony, that's what I'm thinking happened. I believe in this instance, ain't no man that's going to take any rhino pills or whatever if he's going to do that. And just to throw it out like that, come on, man. I don't believe that. Where were you at that he would just do that? Was the whole place trashy? I don't believe he would do that because most men, when they're taking those kind of pills, they put those away. They'll put that pill and put that wrapper so far in his pocket that even if he washed it, it wouldn't even never come out. No, I don't believe he would do something like that. I believe that they had bad conversations about sex. I believe it was deep. And he said, hey, I need to be ready. I'm going to take this pill now. And so I don't believe this was saying, but I just think when you go into a date, I'll never go anywhere intimate first. Always do something fun. You want that person in their natural element first. You want to know because that's their everyday. That's the everyday person that they are. This is the person that they showing you right off rip. This is who they usually are. And you make a decision based off of that. Is it worth? Because that third date, which is where you would go out and it gets a little bit more intimate. And like I said, some people, it goes there for third date. But y'all tell me what you think. Y'all tell me what you think. That was a bit much. But the first date, man, I will always say this. I always say this when people ask me, about what first date. I said, well, tell me what you're hoping to accomplish with this date. And I think you should go into that, think about that. What are you hoping to accomplish? Because if you're just going to have a good time, then okay. But if you're trying to you met this person or whatever, and you want this thing to work, then I think you should really take some steps. I think you should slow down. Don't try to push this thing. Try to get to know this person because a lot of things, and I feel like this with men and women, a lot of issues we have later on is because we didn't properly vet this person. And we ignored all the red flags. We just said, oh, whatever. I'm liking what I'm seeing, baby. And then you start talking to your girlfriends and everything. They hyping you up. Nah, just slow it down. Now, before I go, I want to throw this out here. Ladies, let's say, for instance, all the men in your inbox are men you don't want. They're scallies, they're not Manabees, but they're Madden Kings, they're Dusties, they're all these other things. And nobody likes the Dusties, the ones that ain't washed since you known their first name. You really. So now, real quick, before I go, are you prepared? Would you ever, and this is the modern dating scene, this question's been asked. Are you prepared to ask the man that you are attracted to out on a date? Or are you just content and just waiting for the one that you think you want to come find you? That's one question I want to know real quick. Just say yes or no. Are you prepared to go and ask, or not even ask them out, but shoot your shot? Be like, hey, I really dig you. You know, what's up with you or something? Would you let it be known that you find him attractive? Are you willing to do that? That's the question I want to know. That's the question I want to know. Nisha Crawford said, no, Nisha, you don't have to. You pretty, you okay. Nisha, I know you personally. You don't have to do that. But honestly, if they wasn't in your inbox, Ebony, just say it. I mean, here's the thing. What would he say? We do it. Men do it all the time. Now, nobody come out here and say, you got to go in this inbox and be like, oh, yeah, I need you. No, we ain't saying that. You just, hey, how are you? Whatever. You letting them pretty much know that you're interested. You're not willing to do that. And my question is, and I've heard a lot of ladies say no, but here's the thing. I would if I still was single. But in the lady, thank you, Brittany. Thank you. See, I just want somebody to be honest. Would you do it? Would you do it? Now, me, when ladies do it to me, I mean, I know it. And they know when I'm not interested. And it's no love lost. We still cool. No love lost. No awkward conversation. They know. I mean, men do it all the time. So are you content to just lay in there forever? Because, sooner or later, stuff gonna happen. You don't want that to be you. I think eventually I would. Okay, Ebony, eventually you would. Okay. I think women should chase men? No. I don't. I don't think they should ever chase. I don't like chasing anyway. But I think sometimes, like, if you look in your inbox and the men that's coming for you, the men that's finding you attractive and everything, they're nowhere near the men that you actually want. Then you got to ask yourself two questions. Why not? Why not? Because keeping it 100, you may not qualify for that man, so he ain't checking for you. He saw you, maybe he just don't like what he's seen. Or maybe he don't know you exist. Because that happens too, because a lot of times, like for me, when I go somewhere and I play for whatever artist I'm with, right? I'm even if I was trying to go with somebody or looking, I'm usually there to play. So I'm in and out of there. Those of you who play at go to the church I play at, you see me and I speak, but I'm usually boom, boom, boom. I'm out of there. I'm not trying, so you may have to let it be known, hey, Mr. Hearn or whatever, or hey, Mr. Jenkins, or hey, Mr. Wilkins, or whoever it is you find yourself like, and just give him a hug or whatever and be like, oh, okay. And he'll be like, oh, who is that? Now you got his attention. I didn't say you got to send him nudes. All the musicians be gone. We don't play, girl. I ain't say you got to send him nudes or anything like that to get his attention, but just a little hug, just, hey, how you doing? Y'all, come on. Man, one thing I can say about the sisters, y'all know how to play the game. Y'all get y'all way over there, and then next thing you know, hey, hey, how you doing, brother? And now we looking like, wait, who is this? Because now we know you exist. Are you willing to do that? Even that little bit. Honestly, that's the problem with, honestly, it's the women problem. I like you, Brittany. I agree, sweetheart. I agree. I totally agree. I think at some point you probably gonna have to shoot your shot. I just think so, because if you getting old and the kind of man you want ain't coming for you, the dating game, listen, the dating game is blood sport right now. It's like Mortal Kombat, and it's a dog eat dog world. You hear me? I don't know. I mean, if you don't want to be married, forget what you think you heard. Y'all been taught your whole life, oh, God gonna see you the man for you. I mean, that may happen, but I don't know. What are you prepared to do? You got to remember, it's way more of you than it is of us. And he going to have to thumb through a whole lot of women to see you. So, I mean, I'm just throwing a different perspective. I just think that sometimes y'all sit and wait. And I can't count how many times one of my female friends came to me, man, I liked him and he found out he liked me and now he ain't even available. What was you waiting on? What were you waiting on? That's all I'm saying. I mean, I'm just trying to help you. If you liking some dude and you feel like and the vibe is there, you better let him know. That I'm not giving you bad advice. I'm telling you truth. Don't let your pride stop you from something you. Now, I ain't like, again, you know what you, don't be out here going aggressive with him. But let him know you exist. Let him know you're around or whatever. You know, that ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't think you should chase, but come on. You trying to get that first date. You just want to listen, because a lot of y'all confident beyond confident. Wouldn't you agree, yes or no, that if you could get that first date with him, that even if y'all don't hook up or whatever, you would at least know that he will at least look at you and be like, whoa, yeah, she dope. Maybe we just don't click, but at least you'd be like, yeah, she dope. I mean, you don't have that much confidence in yourself? Why is it that women don't want to ask on the first date? Why does it always have to be us? I'm going to make myself visible and speak. But there you go. Make yourself visible and just, you ain't got to, listen, like I said, don't go wagging your butt all up on him. Don't do nothing crazy. Please, God, don't do nothing. Don't get sat down at church, Ebony. Don't get sat down at church, but just do a little bit. Some of y'all got it. Let them know. A lot of times we don't know. We don't know. And a lot of times, especially me, like if I was, Lord forbid, if I was like trying to go there with somebody in church or whatever, you would have to let me know, because I'm surely not looking. I'm not. Everybody's my sister. Everybody's my friend. I'm not trying to go there with nobody. And a lot of men think that way. So we won't know unless you say something. Let me see what you're saying. Problem is getting him to ask when the women do ask him, and it's a turnoff. Yeah, I mean, it depends on how you do it. You got to use some savvy. You can't be out there, yeah, man, I want you to come up. No, you can't be like, hey, what you doing later? No, don't do that. Just start with the hugs. He just got to know you exist. That's what I'm saying. He got to know you exist. If you got it, he going to see you. Wear that dress that fits. Wear that dress that fits. Wear that dress that accentuate those curves. I didn't say be hoish out here. Don't think I'm saying that, but don't come out here looking like you about to be the inspiring missionary for the Church of God in Christ. No, wear something that kind of fits you so we can see you and everything. Trust me, they gonna look. They gonna want to know. Trust me, they'll be like, hey, yo, who was that? Or when you speak to them, they be like, yo, wow, yeah, who was that? I'm just saying, I know I'm looking, I'm actually done. I'm just talking to the lady. I just really, when I ask questions of women, I don't ask men. I ask women. I ask women for questions about women. I don't ask men. That's dumb. So how can I not know? I know about women because I ask women. I want to know. I don't know what it's like to be a woman. I don't know what you think. So if I'm asking you these questions, I want to know, but I'm telling you what I believe men think. And a lot of men that I talk to, these are the things that they say. Like a lot of times we don't even see you. Musicians, especially church that I play at, it's so many. We don't know you exist out there. The men don't know. The ones that are looking, they looking, they just ain't seeing you. Or they don't know you even care. The dating game is weird, y'all. But don't forget the takeaways, though. First date, do something fun. Don't shoot out. Yeah, I know. And a lot of that's been wrong. I mean, over time, everything's changed now. I'm learning even more and more, even when I do these shows and stuff like that, and the research that I do, I'm learning the dating game has evolved to something totally different. And what worked for our parents, what worked for our uncles, and even our older cousins and our brothers and sisters won't work for us, and definitely won't work for the Zennials and the ones coming up under them. It's not going to work for them. By the time the ones that are 12 are old enough to actively date, it's going to be something way crazy. And my thing is, the way it is right now, you got to evolve with the game, or you're going to be alone with your dog. You know, that seemed to be the thing. And that's a possibility of rejection. We deal with it all the time, Ebony. Men deal with it. You'll be okay. We deal with it all the time. And most of the time with us is really harsh. Ugh, You too short for me. I'm sorry. I'm not attractive. You ain't got no money. You know, I mean, dude, the worst rejection I ever had. How bad is the rejection when a woman say, "Oh, I don't want to go with him. I want to fight him." That's rejection for you right there. You don't get too much harder than that. Let me see. Oh, okay, she's responding to somebody. Yeah, so we get rejected. Don't be scared to reject. That's part of the game. That's part of the game. And here's the thing. You never had to deal with rejection. That could be part of the problem too. You never had to deal with rejection, so you don't know what it feels like to be rejected because you've been taught that everybody got to come to you, but the men in your inbox ain't the men you want. So obviously the men that you are attracted or the men that think they can shoot they shot at you, them the ones that are in your inbox you don't know. So the only way you're going to get the ones you want, you got to change the surrounding, the way you do things. You have to change with the game. You that's what you have to do. That's what I'm saying. So you have to, the game has evolved. It's not like our parents were when they did see and the men were gentlemen and coming, "Hi, my name is Derek. How are you?" Yeah, such and such and such and such. And then the thing is, yeah, it could work like that, but that day, I don't know, y'all. I opened the door for a woman at a church and she just looked at me and kept going. This is a new day. There are no such thing. Gentlemen are not respected anymore. Gentlemen are called simps now, even though some of them are, but gentlemen are called simps now. But now you got men out here, we don't know. We don't know. You're going to have to let us know. I said this before in my live. You can do it in some way. If you're in the store and the man is looking at you, you can smile at him and let him know it's okay to approach me. Because if you're in there scouring, he gonna be like, "Oh, nah, we good. This is more of the same." Like this video I just showed you. And that woman that I showed you in that video, she gonna die alone with a dog. I guarantee you, she gonna have like a dog out here and she gonna have one that's gonna be her future. I guarantee you she gonna die with a dog because her attitude is bad. And that's another thing. Another thing that men do watch now, this is a thing that's gonna help you. We watch how you interact with other people. If you come across to be nasty and sharp and with a whole lot of attitude and drama, we're not going to want to approach you either. So, because we don't want you in our home bringing that kind of stress to us. The older the man gets, the less he wants to deal with that. That junk is only cute at 20, 25. When that man starts to get 35, 40, he ain't hearing it. And that's when the man really, that's when his feet is going. He's making more money. And by the time he's 60 and getting ready to get out the game or turn over his business where he can just sit at home and just make money, he ain't gonna want to deal with no woman that's gonna bring drama like this chick before. He's not gonna want to deal with that. And so you have to really check that and check the people you hang with. That's another thing. I'm going to drop these gems so y'all can know. To get that first date with the man that you want, the man you desire, you need to check your friends. Look at your circle. Are they hood bandits? Are they hood bandits? What is a hood bandit? Y'all know what a hood bandit is. They loud, rambunctious, disagreeable. What are you doing? My phone ringing, y'all. So are they disagreeable? All of that stuff. I'm just helping you. I'm just helping y'all only stuck on hood bandits. But no, are they disagreeable? Are they loud? Are they, girl, let's turn up? Are they twerking every other video? Why? Because the Bible is clear. Be not deceived. Evil communication corrupt good manners. The people you hang around, they can determine what somebody even perceives you to be. So check your circles. Because if a man is looking for somebody and he see you with hood bandits and these chicks and manabees, he thinking you one of them and he's not going to want to deal with you. He's not going to want to deal with you. You have to show that you stand apart. And now that man that look at you, he can say, okay, she don't hang around with that. She looks like she peaceful. She ain't out here acting crazy. Yeah, that first date might be good. Let me get to know her. And then on that first date, man, smile. Man, listen, if you like him, man, I don't care if he come and say, why did the chicken cross the road? You better be like, why? You know, I mean, it all that matters. That first date should be real. That should be the chillest time of y'all whole dating experience. Should be the first date. That first date should be the most chill. Y'all should just be able to just relax, because that moment right there, that's going to be your everyday. Not the embracing and the loving and all of that. That's not going to be, no. That's not going to be that. It's not going to be that all the time. I'm just being honest. Okay? So do you have any questions for me before I jump off of here? Because I am about to go. I'm about to watch the rest of this game and get ready for work. But I thank you for joining me. Do you have any other questions? Next week, we cover the hookup culture in church. The hookup culture. Ooh, that's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be crazy, because we gonna need to talk about that. Nobody's ever gonna cross this thing like we're gonna cross it. The hookup culture. The hookup culture. What is the hookup culture? The hookup culture is when you just hooking up. Everybody just having a smash fest. There ain't nobody really trying to get with nobody. Nobody's trying to have a relationship. Nobody's trying to even get married. It's just smashing. How big is it in church? Does it happen? And we all know it happens. And it's like we turn a blind eye to it or whatever. And it's up until somebody pop out with a kid, or when some violence happen or something, whatever, when this whatever, drama, then everybody like, no, we already knew this joke was going on. So we're gonna deal with the hookup culture. We're gonna deal with that. We're gonna deal with that next week, okay? Well, anyway, thank y'all for joining Voltron tonight. Thank y'all for joining me. Y'all see my Voltron backdrop? I'm Voltron for the night. But anyway, thank y'all for joining me. Make sure y'all share this video with people. Let's try to get this thing up next week, because we got to cover that thing. And I don't want to have to keep going over these same videos over and over again. But I do love you, bro. What up, Willie? You late, bro. We didn't cover the whole thing. Good to see you, my brother. Good to see you. Anyway, all right. Thank you, Ebony. And I'll see you guys next week. I love you. Take care.